My name is Shiroy Aspandiar. I'm the board chair for Etoile Academy. I'm standing in for Kaylee, who I know would have absolutely wanted to be here. Unfortunately, today is a really important day for the school and she could not make it because the state of Texas is actually doing their evaluation of Etoile Academy. So she kind of had to be there for that meeting. There's about 7 people from the state who are currently evaluating the school just to make sure that everything is up and running. I heard commented that they were blown away already by her preparation. She had this like portfolio and stack of resources for them, so she wanted to be here but could not. So you're stuck with me. I'll do a really quick brief introduction about myself. I'm currently the board chair of Etoile Academy. Like Mark, I actually began through Teach for America in 2010. I taught in Houston. I worked for KIPP as well, so I've been in the work for some time, and was introduced actually to Building Excellence Schools to my master's program while I was in Boston. And I vividly remember thinking, this sounds amazing. And then they asked for a 6-year commitment, and I realized how intense it was going to actually be to actually fully launch a school. So I was wowed by Building Excellent Schools and their fellows. And when I met Kaylee 2 years ago, I was so excited to be able to get involved with this school. So I'm going to tell you a brief bit about the school and leave time for questions. So here we go. Etoile Academy is a brand new school to Houston. That process, as I mentioned, began 2 years ago, but we just launched this August with our first initial cohort of 5th graders. We have about 65 students in that initial grade level. The mission of Etoile Academy is to ensure that every single one of our students from 5th through 8th grade have the academic and the character foundation to be successful in high school, college, and through their ambitious life pursuits beyond. That is the mission of the school. That is what Kaylee and our team of dedicated teachers work towards every single day to achieve. So who are we? Like I mentioned, we are a brand new charter organization to the city of Houston. We're an independent charter. I think Asma mentioned that a little bit. So we have a completely local team, a completely local board that I'm honored to be on. We have about 9 others as well who are spearheading efforts. Everything from knocking on doors on Saturday to try to increase enrollment, all the way to handling complex pieces about leases. We're a really, truly local team. As I mentioned, we've increased enrollment. So there's a couple students signed up for Etoile Academy just over the last couple of weeks. So we're actually at 65 students, and those students are in the 5th grade. So we chose strategically to do what's called a slow growth model, which means that we didn't want to open up a middle school where we have 5th through 8th grade all at once. We're building year by year. So we're starting with our 5th grade cohort, and much with the help of Families Empowered, we actually really drove enrollment. So Families Empowered is doing excellent work, and we couldn't be happy to be able to collaborate with them. And also, Yes Prep as well with Teaching Excellence, who is really providing skills and skill building for our teachers. We chose to be in the Gulfton and Sharpstown area for a reason. Number one was that we realized that, as Colleen alluded to, Families Empowered, there was a lot of students on the wait list in that area. In fact, in that area specifically, there were 4,000 students who were on the wait list. And in addition to the neighborhood schools, about 50% of the students were achieving proficiency. So what we wanted to do is provide a better quality education for students in that area and around Houston as well. And one of the other reasons why we wanted to choose Gulfton as well is because of its importance, I think, for what it will mean for the country in the future. Gulfton really embodies the diversity, the multinational community of what will become the United States of America. And so if we can get it right in Gulfton and really achieve world-class educational outcomes, it could be a blueprint for the country. So that's why we chose the Gulfton community area. In terms of our students, 90% of our students are currently on free or reduced lunch, and about 38% of our students are English language learners. So our history, I mentioned it's founded by Kaylee Columbero, and she is a 2016 Building Excellence Schools Fellow. And so as I mentioned, when I sat down with Kaylee, I immediately knew that she was going to be high capacity, she had been extraordinarily vetted, and was in it for the long haul. And that is only proven out in our work over the last 2 years. I can confidently say that I've never met anybody who works as hard as Kaylee, and she's extraordinarily dedicated to making this school as successful as it possibly can be. So there are 2, what she did as part of that fellowship was that she examined some of the best schools across the country. While she was in Boston, she actually was able to do a fellowship portion with Excel Academy. Excel Academy is one of the best middle schools in the city of Boston, like full stop. It is a phenomenal school. There, she actually was able to really learn processes and operations and just gain a tremendous amount of knowledge that she could bring back to Houston and to how to really run a world-class school. We have actively engaged with the community in the building of Etoile Academy and really thinking about getting parent input is super important for us. And we're the first building excellence school in Houston. So Kaylee is leading the way for the other fellows that were identified earlier. That year, we were one of 5 schools who were in the state of Texas received approval for a charter. And I was there at the meeting, and Kaylee and the team did wonderfully. And we are, as I mentioned, currently up and running. And lastly, Christina, who's another Building Excellence Schools Fellow, is actually one of our founding ELA teachers. So really collaborating, really making sure that Building Excellence Schools will be successful in Houston. What makes us special? So we have a hybrid charter and private school culture. And so what that means is that when you come to our school at Etoile Academy, every single day outside the building, you'll see Kaylee shaking students' hands. Every single day in every single class, students begin the class with good morning, good afternoon, and they conclude by thanking the teacher. There's a school uniform, and in addition, the culture feels like it's one in which learning and community and engagement are at the forefront every single day. We also have rigorous college prep curriculum, and I think what makes Kaylee's school unique is a couple core pieces. One is that there's a deep focus on financial literacy. We're building partnerships with different organizations. We're creating a curriculum, really ensuring that students, when they enter high school and college, are equipped with the skills to be financially successful. We also are going to be rolling out French in actually 7th and 8th grade, and we're going to be actually taking our students on a trip as an 8th grade cohort to France. One of the reasons for that is actually Kaylee's a first-generation college student and a Smith alum. And when she got to Smith, she realized that she wasn't able to fully participate in some of the more cultural or social conversations. Some of her peers had been to Paris or Athens or whatnot. And she didn't have that background and exposure. So it's super important for Kaylee to be able to have that for our students. Many of our students are already bilingual as well. And the focus on French is an opportunity to be truly multilingual as a school. It's an extended school day. Some of these are common to other charter schools as well. But Kaylee offers after-school programming all the way till 6 and is doing Saturday sessions every single Saturday. They're working extremely hard. And so what else makes this school special is a complete, utter, dedicated focus on these core values. Initially, I was skeptical. I was like, every school focuses on core values, Kaylee. She said, no, we're doubling, we're tripling down, we're gonna focus on these core values. They begin each day in advisory, focus on these values, and they end each day, focus on these values, talking about them actively. So those values are respect, excellence, ambition, community, and hard work. I won't go deeper into that, but it's embedded into the DNA of the school. Additionally, another core thing that makes Etoile unique is a really interesting focus on high school selection. So beginning in the 7th grade, students who are going through Etoile Academy will have an opportunity to meet with a coordinator who's going to support them on applying to high-quality schools throughout the greater Houston area. Tailor-made for each student, focusing on getting them access to the best schools possible. And it's going to be a mixture of private, charter, magnet, whatever have you. If it's a quality school, we want our students to be there. So that journey of educational growth and excellence will continue. Yeah, I think that's mostly most of it there. We'll be preparing them throughout the entire process. And then finally, we get a lot of support from Building Excellence Schools. That follow-on support lasts for 3 years. In fact, Luke's coach for Building Excellence Schools was actually here to observe the school just 2 weeks ago, I believe. And she's done these re-residencies and really is just getting quality coaching on everything on how to structure the board to maximize its impact, which she has. It's a true working board, all the way to making sure that training exists that's quality for the teachers and staff, and it's getting that support from Building Excellence Schools as well.